Hi everyone, it's me Gaming 2, and welcome to 20 Questions Part 22. I think that rhymed actually, but that's not my point. My point is today we are doing the 22nd part of 20 Questions, and I don't have much more to say besides that, so let's just get right on into it. 20 Questions Part 22. Number 1, would you rather high school era or now? So this basically means would I rather live in my life in high school or in my life now? Um, they both have their positives and negatives, definitely. But I would probably say there's one major factor that I'd say that makes me wish I was kind of back in the era of high school. And that's that since high school ended, I've gone through tragedy. I have gone through the death of my grandmother and one of my closest dogs, husky puppies, so it was very, very hard on me. And it's been a very hard point for me in general. I'm getting better, but at the same time, if I'm not uploading as much as I used to, say in like 2019, 2020 or something like that, it's mainly because of the fact that I'm trying to recover from all this freaking shit that's been happening the past year. So, yeah. I'm sorry if I'm not on the channel as much as I used to be, but that's mainly why. But anyways, back to the question. The thing that I'd pick now that I like more than high school era is I feel more free as I'm an adult now. I'm 21 years old at the current moment. And I'd rather be 21 with the freedom I got than, say, 17. But at the same time, things were just more simple then. There wasn't nearly as much tragedy. The worst thing to happen while I was in high school is my grandparents' dog passed away, which, as close as I was with him, it wasn't as bad as Clover or especially my grandmother. But it was still sad. But high school era was also a lot of fun and stuff like that, and I miss it. But it's not to say this entire era that I live in now is bad. It's just, to me, I'd rather live probably in high school era. Or at least I'm hoping in the future that I'm as happy as I was in the high school era. Number 2, do you think Marvel is going downhill? Absolutely. Um, I'm not gonna really say what other people have said. Well, I probably will, but I'm not gonna go super into it like a lot of people did. But what a lot of people say about it, I agree with. Um, the story so far, starting with Phase 4, seems to be really unfocused. There seems to be a little too much experimentation, like, especially with the shows on Disney Plus. The only two shows that I'd say I have enjoyed so far, and there's like, what, 9 or 10 now, is Loki and WandaVision. That's literally about it. Other than that, I'm not really a big fan of any of the Marvel TV shows. I'm excited for Daredevil when that comes, what, next year? That'll be really cool, but other than that, I can just probably skip on the rest and not really care, and I have. You know, I actually that's not entirely true. I've seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, and what's it called? Moon Knight. But other than that, I haven't seen Miss Marvel. I haven't seen She-Hulk, thank God. But it's just my opinion. I think that it just doesn't interest me. And what everyone's been saying about those shows, it's like, Okay, thank you. Now I won't watch it in a good way because they saved a lot of my time. Which is unfortunate because you talked to me 4 years ago when Avengers Endgame came out. I would have been like, no, never. I am never missing something Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which you talk to me today, I'm like, I'm probably going to miss about half or more of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now because they focus way too much on the TV shows. It seems like they are cutting it down this year, but I'm not entirely sure. And what they're not cutting down, it seems like, might actually be pretty good. So, with that being said, I'd say there's a pretty high chance Marvel will get better. They were just really trying to dip their feet in the water with Phase 4, is what I think. So, now basically, I think that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is coming out, which is going to sort of introduce the Kang, who's going to start the whole Kang dynasty and stuff like that. So, with that, I think we are going to get a bigger picture now. So, with that, we'll see things finally setting up for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, and then I don't know if the films will ever be as good as like phases 1 through 3, but I can see me being interested again and really looking forward to what's coming with Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. If they start focusing on this bigger picture now. If they do it 1 year before Avengers Secret Wars comes out, or like the movie right before it, then there's no freaking setup. You need to set up Kang so much, I think, now. So in most movies, I would have some reference to Kang now, really make him out to be this big bad like Thanos was. I would have him appear in like, I don't know, I think a good idea is supposedly we're getting Doctor Strange 3 before Avengers Secret Wars. I don't know, is it coming out before Kang Dynasty 2? Because if it is, I would have Kang be a big part of Doctor Strange 3 if it's coming out before Kang Dynasty. If not, then I don't know then. But you really need to start gearing up Kang. He seems like he's going to be truly awesome, but we need to know stuff about him now. So, if you start doing that, I think a lot of people will get reinterested into Marvel. I think the quality will go up, and it'll be awesome. Also, no offense to Bob Chapek, but I think Bob Iger has a little more of a understanding of Disney. So I think with him coming back, things might be better in the MCU. And I think they honestly will. So I'm excited. But I ultimately think the universe is going downhill. Number 3, who is your favorite wrestler? This is hard. I have it between two. It's either Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Kane. Oh, Kang's got me freaking confusing Kane now. Kane is freaking awesome. In like the first little bit he was a wrestler when he had the classic mask and stuff like that, and he was truly a freaking... He was truly scary then, and he was awesome and huge, and when he revealed his mask coming off, finally, that was scary. But it was the turn of his character a little bit to where I didn't really like him quite as much. I still liked him. I like Kane. Damn it, Marvel. I like Kane all the way through. But I think I like The Rock overall because he was pretty much good throughout his entire wrestling career. He was awesome. He did go and is probably more known now for his acting career than his wrestling career. But I think The Rock is a pretty good actor, so what does that matter? I think he was awesome in wrestling, though. I think I like him more for his wrestling career than his acting career, but I still like his acting career, especially in the new Jumanji films. Those are awesome, but overall, if I had to pick an absolute favorite, it would be between Kane and The Rock, but I'd go with The Rock. He's just so damn charming and freaking hilarious, especially when he sings the parody of You Look Wonderful Tonight and is singing to Vicky Guerrero, singing, Vicky, you biatch, you look horrible tonight. That will probably be my favorite WWE moment of all time. I freaking love that moment. He's just so good on the mic. But I think I'd have to go with The Rock. Number 4, what do you think of Toy Story? Oh, I love this question. What do you think of Toy Story 5 now being confirmed? I meant to say being. Excuse my horse trash grammar. Be confirmed, but what do you think of Toy Story 5 being confirmed? Listen, you're going to see a tier list very soon where I remake my tier list for Pixar and DreamWorks. Pixar is going to be the A and DreamWorks is going to be the B. Some of my opinions in the past year have actually changed drastically from my Pixar ranking. Some of them didn't, and I'd actually say more than half the list hasn't really changed, but one of the major changes is my opinion on Toy Story 4. I just watched the film, I believe it was the second week of January. I decided, it was when I had COVID. I decided to just put on Disney Plus. I put on Toy Story 4. And I sat there and I watched it and I was like, this movie has a lot more flaws than I thought it did. Really. First of all, Bonnie, yeah, she's a little kid and stuff like that, but when she basically doesn't even acknowledge Woody throughout the entire film, that kind of takes a ginormous shit on the ending of Toy Story 3. And then I realized the whole Bo Peep Woody story I actually really like. I still really like Toy Story 4, but here it comes. I think it's now my least favorite Toy Story. I originally put it as my second favorite, then it went down the third, and now, as I'm growing older, I think it's finally going to be down to my least favorite. It took a while, but I'm starting to realize what a lot of people's flaw with the movie is. It's just, it feels the most like a cash grab of the entire franchise. So, it has really good aspects. I still think it's a good movie. But I would place it more among the lines of, like, somewhere, like, around the Luca or, like, Up range. And, honestly, I think the other big change is that I'd put Toy Story 3 a bit higher. Oh my god, a lot of people are gonna freaking bless me now because I finally see the way of Toy Story 3. I still think Toy Story 3 is slightly overrated, so don't get too happy. But I'm starting to realize that ending in Toy Story 3 is, like, perfect for the franchise. And Toy Story 4 kind of took a crap on it. Now, that's not the main point. The main point is, what do I think of Toy Story 5? Why? Why are we having Toy Story 5? I hate to be like everyone else because originally I was going to say, well, maybe they could do something with it, but this is just, to me, this is just desperation because Pixar hasn't really done that well at the box office since Toy Story 4. Well, here's the thing. And I hate to sound like this for sequels, but there are some other Pixar franchises that I think you could do sequels with first. Ratatouille is not one of them. I don't want to see a second Ratatouille. I think that film ended perfectly. That is a one and done film. You want to know one film that I think could have a sequel, and I never got people saying that the first one ended perfectly, because it was a good ending, but I think there is potential for a sequel. WALL-E. I think WALL-E has a lot of potential for a sequel. Like what happens when all of the humans inhabit Earth? Or what happens when maybe, I don't know, WALL-E and Eve get married? Or what happens when WALL-E like maybe goes rogue or something? There's a lot of possibilities you could have. The main thing I'm thinking about is what happens when Earth becomes inhabited again. Maybe the humans don't depend on the robots as much, and that's a big crisis. That's my thought for the movie. I don't really have it that pitched out, but I think that would be cool. I think WALL-E could definitely have a sequel. Other than that, the film that actually is getting a sequel would probably be second place for me, Inside Out, which is actually getting a sequel in 2024. I'm very excited for that film. I can't wait for that film. I love the first Inside Out. And with a second one coming, I actually say, yes, there is plenty of room for a sequel. And I am very excited. This film, I think, is supposed to go over Riley during puberty. And that's going to be quite the journey. I can't wait to see it. I bet you it'll be a pretty funny movie in certain aspects. But, I think Toy Story 5 is unnecessary. Am I still going to watch it? I think so. Honestly, I'm just too attached to the characters not to watch another Toy Story film. But it'll be by far the one I'm the least excited for. Like, I don't have too much excitement for this. After this film, I'm going to be like, you have one last chance to prove to me that you can do it a fifth time. End it this time, though. But I'm not too excited for it, no. I don't really want it to happen. I think you should just end it with 4, you know. 4, I'm starting to see as flawed, but the ending was pretty good. Just not nearly as good as Toy Story 3. So, Toy Story 5, I'm like, it doesn't need to happen, but I'll watch it. Number 5, Wawa or Quick Check. Okay, so let me go into a little bit of the story before I answer this question. God, we're 18 minutes in and I've only answered 5 of the 20 questions. Shit. For me, I live in northern New Jersey, which is dominated pretty much by Quick Check. In my county where I live, we got our very first Wawa last year. And at long last yesterday, I finally tried it. And I gotta say, goodbye, Quick Check. Because Wawa is pretty freaking good. The answer is Wawa, by the way. Wawa just knows what a convenience store needs to be. My favorite part of it is not the subs. The subs are pretty good. The cheesesteak was definitely a lower tier cheesesteak, but it wasn't bad. I've had the cheesesteak at Quick Check before, and that was worse. But I'd say it was still a lower tier cheesesteak. Um, I mean, the thing is, I knew it was a Pennsylvania chain, so I was figuring maybe the cheesesteaks would actually be pretty good, but it was still kind of lower tier. Like, I've had it better at an Italian restaurant around where I live, so that's what I'm saying mainly. But the best part of Wawa is the drink machine, which I don't think there's a single one in my county besides that one. Uh, it's the big Coca-Cola machine where you got all the different options for a drink you want. You tap on the screen what Coca-Cola product you want. You know what I mean. Like, you tap Coke, and then you have all the Coke options for, like, Coke, orange vanilla. I think they even have grape Coke, which is weird, but there's just so many different options. No, it's grape Sprite, actually, but there's just so many awesome options in the soda machine at Wawa that it puts Quick Check to shame. I'm still probably going to go to Quick Check on occasion, because overall there's probably 20 Quick Checks on my county versus only one Wawa, but I gotta admit, as a North Jerseyan, Wawa is better. Please, all North Jersey folks, don't attack me. It's just my opinion. I gotta go with the South Jersey side on that one. It's just a better convenience store. I prefer Wawa. Number 6. What is the first 2023 film you plan on watching? That's it down there. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. As I've said, I'm pretty excited for this film, but Marvel Phase 4 has kind of given me a little bit of reserve with the Marvel films because it's just gone downhill compared to how it used to be. So, well, I'm looking forward to it. I can't necessarily say I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be freaking awesome. And that's sad because this is like my 5th most anticipated, or was it? I don't know. It was in my top 10 most anticipated films of the year. But there's a couple films I'm really anticipating, and only one of them is a Marvel film, and that's Guardians 3. I am really excited for that. That's like my hype for Spider-Man No Way Home level. I can't wait for Guardians 3. Ant-Man, I'm excited for, but I might not see it in theaters. We'll see. But I really, 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 I'm excited, but not too excited. Since it's pretty soon, I am pretty excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but I'm not like, oh my god, I'm so pumped up for this film. This film is going to be awesome. But to answer the question, the first film I plan to watch for 2023 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And then the following week, I want to watch Cocaine Bear. That film looks like it's going to be a freaking blast. It's going to be probably a so bad it's good film, but I think this is the first film where I knew that, but I still want to see it to death. It looks like it's going to be so freaking awesome. I can't wait for that film. And then, from there, I'll have to look out for what's coming out, and I'll watch stuff. I'm going to try to do, up to 20 films again this year, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that for 2023. We'll see. Speaking of 2023, number 7. Are you excited for any 2023 games? I am excited for multiple 2023 games. I'd say this is the best year for gaming of the entire decade so far. We're getting stuff like Spider-Man 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Dead Space. We're getting Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4. We're getting a lot of stuff this year. And I'm really looking forward to it. In my opinion, the game I'm the most looking forward to is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I cannot freaking wait for that game to come out. I'm hoping to get that like day one. But I can't wait for that game to come out. That game is going to be awesome. But overall, I I am excited for a lot of games this year. I think this is going to be a good year for gaming, especially compared to the past few years, which weren't bad, but 2023 I think is going to be a really good year for gaming. Number 8. How's winter been in your area? Oh my god, it has been so freaking tame, and thank God. Whew. The past few winters have had very rough moments. Overall, it's probably been more mild than average, but we have had very rough moments during the winter at some points. This year, though, I haven't had to shovel once yet, and we're almost halfway through February. Yes, I have not had to shovel once. Not once this entire winter have I had to shovel. And we're already like halfway through February. That is crazy. Winter, in terms of snow, has been almost nothing. Winter, in terms of cold, we have gotten some days that have probably been the most intense days in a while. It's been very cold at points, but that's very simple. You just stay inside, get a cup of coffee or cocoa, and just enjoy yourself. Get ready for this freaking blistering cold. But winter in my area has not been very bad at all. In fact, I would go as far to say it was pretty good. Please don't jinx it. I don't want an insane winter where I live now. I am really... Winter has been, like, unbelievably good. And I hope it stays that way, because... No snow. Especially since we're relatively close to spring now. Which is about... we're pretty close to it being about a month away now. So, we're pretty close to spring. So, the weather will finally start to get nice. And it's not like it's not nice, but we're like in the average of like the low 40s, early 30s now, which is not bad, but we almost get no precipitation, which is awesome. So we've had a very mild winter in my area. Number 9. What is your opinion on the new Velma show? I don't know. I'm not watching it. I've watched plenty of reviews of it, though, and it seems like a show that's just... It's an absolute joke. An absolute failure of a Scooby-Doo product. And I'm not even that big of a Scooby-Doo fan. But they made Velma out to be, like, the worst character. I'm starting to think they kind of did it on purpose. To just make her character super dislikable. And it's just, from the clips I've seen, it's hard to watch. It's insane. Oh my. The show is so freaking cringeworthy. It's not even funny. I've only seen clips of the show because I am not inducing myself to 10 episodes of that freaking show. But it seems so freaking cringeworthy. And having a terrible main character and the rest of the characters are either insanely dumb, stupid, and just boring, and no Scooby-Doo, it just makes me say, shit, I'll watch reviews, but I'm not going to watch this show at all. The new Velma show can go down as one of the worst shows of all time, and I won't care. Number 10. Why do you keep going back to GD Plush? In this, I mainly mean, why do I keep reviving it? It's mainly because when I thought, oh, I'm done with this show now, I'm done with the show, then my ideas start to come in. Like, my idea, oh my god, I thought of a Halloween special, let's bring back GD Plush, or I thought of an idea where the gang comes back with the gang basically going to jail. Listen. To me, honestly, the third time we ended it should have been it. The more I look back at it, the start of the downfall was during season 5, I think. I think ultimately the show should have ended with the finale from 2019, which I believe was the last Plush video of 2019. Whatever that was, that should have been the end of GD Plush. Period. That should have been the end of it. But then we got Woody's Wacky Wyoming Adventures, which is probably about on par with the series before that. And then I would say the show was mostly the same, with a few flaws here and there. I don't think season 5 was quite as good as the first 4 seasons, but it ain't until season 6 that I start to see a major change. Season 6, I'll admit, is just me running out of ideas. I actually was doing on a roll with GD Plush at a certain point, and around the middle of that season, actually had probably some of the best episodes since the first 3 seasons, but most of the season, I would say, is probably the worst of the entire series because it's just honestly kind of annoying. I'll admit it. I'm sorry to induce you guys to that. But I look back at my videos sometimes to give myself my own constructive criticism, and I'm like, this is kind of annoying. It really is. You look at episodes like the soccer game, or Woody's business trip, or something like that, and it's like, this isn't GD Plush anymore. The series has changed so much. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like... I don't know. And currently season 7, I don't really know what my thoughts of it are yet. I really think I kind of want to end GD Plush again. Just like I did, and this is going to be the 5th time. But I really want to mean it. I want the ending to be as perfect as possible, is what I'm saying. I want the end of the show to be the literal perfect finale. Like, this closes off the character so well, and there will be absolutely no possibilities of bringing the show back. Especially since we have Willow and Luna now, which I plan to commit at least one more season of. Probably. I'm going to say there's a 90% chance there's going to be at least 3 seasons of Willow and Luna. But it's gotten to the point where I want to prioritize Willow and Luna over GD Plush. I've got a few more ideas, such as Mario Kart, which is going to be coming in March, and a couple more Woody videos. I am planning on doing one last Rich Woody, which is probably coming out soon. But other than that, I kind of just want GD Plus to end. I'm finally getting to the point where I'm like, I want to end this and I don't want it to come back, but I want it to be as good of an ending as possible. In some ways, I kind of just want to delete everything that happened after GD Plus the movie Part 4 and have that be the ending of the entire franchise. But it's too late. You can't erase the past. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really focus on doing a finale. Here's the thing. I'm going to have an announcement video on what the finale is going to actually be like soon. Here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be a feature-length movie. I think it's going to be 1 hour long, and it is just going to mainly focus on ending the character's storyline. I gotta finish up season 7, so we still have like 5 or 6 episodes left. And I'm going to try my hardest to make those episodes as good as possible. But I just want to end GD Plus and kind of go on to do Willow and Luna and stuff like that and other stuff on my channel. So, I mainly bring it back because I want to give it a proper ending and I get more ideas randomly. But even if I do, from now on, I just gotta say no. No, you may have this idea, but it's too late. The show is over. So, this year, 2023, I am announcing it. I am putting my foot down. I am putting the freaking toughest glue I can possibly put down to this. 2023 will definitively 100% be the year GD Plus ends. It's not a question anymore. It needs to end. It's just been going on so long. I'm losing ideas. I just need to end this franchise. And especially with me now having a second popular franchise that's probably even more popular than GD Plus with Willow and Luna, I think this is the perfect time to just say, you know, it's been fun. Yes, I've been doing this since 2017. And part of me is going to really miss it. And I look back at my old GD Plus videos very fondly still to this day. I just don't like my newer content. I think it's... I don't know what it is. I might go into an analysis video on the rise and fall of GD Plus one day, but overall, I want to move on to new things on my channel. Like, I want to get back into gaming videos, or really focus on Willow and Luna. Listen, I don't think... Actually, is there a question on the Willow and Luna movie on here? I forgot. I don't know. But what I'm going to say about the Willow and Luna movie is this. The Willow and Luna movie is my main focus on the channel right now. Bar none, it is my main focus. I am putting the most time and effort onto the Willow and Luna movie. It is probably going to come out before any single plush video, but definitely before any other Willow and Luna video. I want this movie to be filmed, especially because I finally got the whole idea of the movie. There's going to be some pretty big scenes, but it is going to still be a pretty simplistic movie. Maybe about on scale with the first GD Plus movie. Like, there's going to be a whole little adventure to it, but the main theme of the film is going to be about Willow and Luna's sisterhood. And it's going to be a very sweet movie with even a couple emotional scenes. But I'm going to reveal a lot of details on the Willow and Luna movie soon, since the official release date now is March 3rd. But anyways, let's talk about GD Plush. I brought it back because I can't let it go, basically. But I am letting it go finally this year. I'm putting my foot down. This series needs to end. And I am ending it with a finale this year. Number 11. Do you think we'll get a new Nightmare on Elm Street? A new Nightmare on Elm Street film, basically. God only knows. You know? I think eventually, yes, we will. I am very excited for when they do, because that is my absolute favorite horror franchise. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime really soon, because they really want to focus, kind of. It seems like they want to focus on one character at a time, kind of. So they focused on Michael Myers from like 2018 to 2022. With Jason, they're probably going to focus on him starting probably next year in 2024. So I'm expecting we might see another Nightmare on Elm Street film before the end of the decade, but it might be the 2030s before we see another Nightmare on Elm Street film. I seriously think there's a possibility it could be the 2030s before we see another Nightmare on Elm Street film. Because they seem to like to focus things one at a time with all these the three big franchises. Though they might do a film and it could be out as soon as like 2025 or something like that. That would be awesome. If they announce it this year, I should have taken that back. I think there's a high possibility that we will get a Freddy film before the end of the decade, but they have to announce it soon. And I'm really excited. But here's the thing that I think. I actually have a very similar idea to what Cody Leach is saying about one of his pitches for a film that takes place between Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4. What if, maybe, now, some people are going to be pissed at me with this pitch, but, oh well, it's just my opinion. What if this film would be sort of a legacy sequel like Halloween 2018, but instead of it taking place after the original Elm Street, it would take place after Dream Warriors, where it takes place maybe, let's say at this point, 40 years after Dream Warriors. In this film, you try your hardest to get Patricia Arquette back as Kristen and get Kincaid and Joey back and make a storyline with them. Maybe the story is that they have long forgotten Freddy, but then he just comes back and instills the fear sort of back into them. I love that idea about Freddy versus Jason, so I'd like to see that. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to see a film that takes place in between Nightmare 3 and 4. Or not in between, it's just everything from Nightmare 4 onward doesn't exist in this current timeline. And in this timeline, Dream Warriors exists, but everything after that doesn't. And then they continue the story. And then, you know what? I don't necessarily know if I'd get Robert Englund back. I think it would be nice to get him back one last time, but it seems like he's pretty reluctant to come back as Freddy. But I would love it. And I think if you would have him come back one last time for this one and done film and just end the series perfectly. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to see a Nightmare on Elm Street film that takes place after Dream Warriors. Sort of do what they did with Halloween 2018, but I think we will get one day. I actually, unfortunately, highly doubt that's what it's going to be. Where we get a film that takes place after Dream Warriors. I think it would probably, unfortunately, it would probably be a reboot of the first movie again. But I don't know. The point is, I just love to see a new Freddy film again, no matter what it is. That would be awesome. Number 12. Do you drink a lot now that you're 21? No. I really don't. I don't drink a lot at all. I have my drinks on occasion. I probably drink an alcoholic beverage at least once a week now. But there are some people who drink like 9 or 10 beers a day. Holy crap. I've maybe drank twice that in my entire life with beers. I'm serious. So that just proves how small of a drinker I am. I mainly have like Mike's Hard Lemonade and stuff like that anyways. But no, I ain't much of a drinker. That's a good thing, because alcohol can freaking screw you up sometimes. It's really not fun. But no, I don't drink a lot. I know I'm 21 now and stuff like that, but I don't see a point to it. It's good to just relax sometimes, and that I just go out and have a lemonade and watch the dogs play basically on my patio. But no, I don't drink a lot. Not really at all. No. Number 13. When is the Willow and Luna movie coming out? Oh, I knew I had something with the Willow and Luna movie on this list. The movie is officially coming out March 3rd, 2023. The film is going into hard filming tomorrow. That is going to be probably the major part of my day tomorrow, is going to be filming the Willow and Luna movie. It's going to be a bit colder than other days this week, but not cold enough to where I think I couldn't be outside. So I'll be outside. I'm going to try to get all of the outdoor scenes done tomorrow. And then I'm going to try to get the film completely done next week. Probably next Friday is when I plan to have the film end filming. It's already started filming, and we're probably like 25 minutes into the film. And I want it to be about an hour and a half. So we still got a bit of filming. We still got like almost an hour of the film still to shoot. But the film is coming out on March 3rd, 2023. And it is going to be a very good film. I promise you that. And I hope you guys are excited. Number 14. Do you want a Shrek 5? I would love a Shrek 5 after Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I just saw that film 2 weeks ago now? It was really good. You probably wouldn't believe me, but a lot of people would, because they seen it and saw how awesome it was. But it is legitimately DreamWorks' best film since the original Shrek movies. It was awesome. It's in close competition with Kung Fu Panda 1 as being my third favorite DreamWorks film behind the original two Shreks. But I still would probably give Kung Fu Panda the edge. That film is just amazing, the original. But I'd probably put Puss in Boots: The Last Wish as my fourth favorite DreamWorks film of all time. I think that film was so good. So with that, I would love a Shrek 5. I don't really know what you would do with it, but whatever DreamWorks does, I trust them to death with this film. So yes, I would absolutely love a Shrek 5. Unlike Toy Story 5, which I think just doesn't need to happen. So Shrek 5, I would love to see, yes. 15, what's your favorite DreamWorks franchise? Well, another DreamWorks question. After Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I'd probably say the Shrek franchise. You know, How to Train Your Dragon was really good, but I wasn't a huge fan of the third film. And I can say the same thing with Kung Fu Panda. I didn't really love the third Kung Fu Panda. With Shrek, yes, they have one bad movie, one movie that's okay, one movie that's good, and 3 movies that are awesome. So, overall, I think Shrek, as of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, is probably the best overall franchise. Some people would say it's not the same franchise, but I basically categorize it in the same franchise. It takes place basically in the same universe, so I think the Shrek franchise is back to being the best. Before this movie, I would have said the overall best is probably Kung Fu Panda, but this film just... Now we got 3 amazing Shrek films. Yeah, we have our flaws, but overall, there's just the most overall great films in this franchise now. Number 16. Has Pixar or Marvel gone more downhill? It's really hard to tell, but to me, I'd say there's more of a chance of Marvel coming back from what's been happening. I think they're actually listening to some of the criticism, and I think they're going to sort of take it easy with a lot of the films. There might even be some cancellations and stuff like that to make it a better storyline. With Pixar, I think a lot of the original staff, if I'm not mistaken, has left. And I'm being as nice as possible with this new staff and stuff like that. But to me, yeah, Pixar was at its peak from the early 2000s to the extremely early 2010s. But we got a lot of good films in the 2010s, like Inside Out, Coco. As much as I said it's been downhill now from me, or my opinion has gone down on it. Toy Story 4 was very good. I liked Incredibles 2. I liked Monsters University pretty good. Since the 2020s have started, which I believe there's now 5 films in the 2020s from Pixar's film so far. All but one of them I'm not a huge fan of at all. The only film that I really like is Luca, which I think is just such a freaking charming, awesome film. And it's only around like the number 10 spot on my Pixar ranking. I think it's the best film of the 2020s Pixar so far. Other than that, Turning Red is like the most controversial film Pixar has ever released. I thought it was pretty good. Lightyear was a freaking snore fest, in my opinion. Not a lot to really like about that film, personally. Then we got Onward, which I thought was good, but it could have been a lot better. Soul, I think, is probably the second best film from Pixar's 2020 films. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I just think most of their films are just not quite as good as they used to be. And Elemental, unfortunately, I'm looking forward to it. And I think it could probably be the best Pixar film in a while, but it could also go down the direction as basically being the same thing as Onward or Turning Red or something like that, where I think it's good, but it's a bit flawed. I'm hoping they don't do the same thing with the second Inside Out, and they just make a really fun and really good movie. It's all I care about. I think it'll be. I think Pixar is overall going more downhill, and I think it's gonna stay downhill. Unfortunately, because I've loved Pixar my entire life. And Marvel has really only been a part of my life since my late childhood. Pixar has been a part of my life since I was not even a year old. But I see it just going pretty downhill at this point, unfortunately. Not that it's really bad, but I'm not. I, I don't want a bunch of sequels, but I want films to be really well made with amazing stories that just tug at your freaking heartstrings again. Like, make more films original, like Inside Out, with creative ideas and stuff like that, and things that will tug at your heartstrings. Because overall, Pixar hasn't quite been there for me. I think maybe Marvel fell more downhill overall from its peak, but I see it kind of maybe trying to get back up again, and it probably will get back up again. Pixar, I see it probably happening again, but I think it's going to take longer for Pixar to get back up again, honestly, than Marvel. So, I think Pixar is now a little more downhill than Marvel. 17, what are your top 5 songs of all time? Good God. This is a hard question. But I have ultimately come up with 5 songs that just mean the freaking world to me. Those songs are For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica, Break of Dawn by Michael Jackson. This one is a bit controversial, but I can't help. I love this song. If Everyone Cared by Nickelback. And then you've got... Hold on one second. Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. And my 5th favorite song of all time is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. These songs just are absolutely amazing to me, and just they make me feel something the most out of any songs I would ever listen to. I just love these songs. Number 18, How Long Will Willow and Luna Last? Willow and Luna will last as long as it needs to. I am not going to drag it out as much as GD Plush. With that being said, Willow and Luna is a lot more of a simple story. It's not nearly as like, oh my god, it's got a freaking lore where you gotta watch all these mini-series and stuff like that, and you have to watch episodes to get certain points of certain other episodes. Willow and Luna, no. You might have to watch the movie, but that's really about it. If you want to watch any random Willow and Luna episode in order, it doesn't matter. It's not a continuity-driven show. It's a very, 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 very simple show. So with that, I think it can honestly have... It can probably get away with a bit more of a shelf life than GD Plush. But I'm not going to have it around forever mainly because the show still has potential to go rotten and get boring, and it's mainly what I think could happen with Willow and Luna. It hasn't happened yet, but it could just be the same thing over and over and over again. And we don't want that. So, when I feel like it's right to end Willow and Luna, I think I'm going to. If I had a prediction, It might be after season 3. I think I'm going to be doing 3 seasons of Willow and Luna, which will be 30 episodes, and then probably more than half a chance end the series there, because I don't want it to go rotten or just be in the cycle of GD Plus. When I want Willow and Luna to end, I just want it to end really with a really good finale and stuff like that, and that's it. Not bring it back. So, Willow and Luna will end when I decide to, probably after season 3. We're not even on season 2 yet. We just ended season 1 with episode 10, Home Alone, which was the final episode of season 1. Season 2 will premiere with the movie, and from there we'll be just doing episodes after that. So, Willow and Luna will end when I want it to. Number 19, do you still like The Loud House? Nah. It's complicated. The Loud House, in my opinion, is a show that is far out from its glory days. The Loud House has pretty much become Nickelodeon's second milk cow, where they are milking the hell out of the franchise now with like a live action show, which is basically the same show but in live action. You know, at least SpongeBob's spin-offs tried to make it different. With the Loud House spin-offs, I see almost nothing different, whether that's the Casagrandes or the Really Loud House. I really see no differences. It's just the same thing. So at least with SpongeBob, I don't know if the quality is worse on the SpongeBob spin-offs, as I haven't seen any of them, but at least with SpongeBob, they're kind of going with different ideas. With the Loud House's 2 spin-offs so far, they're basically the same damn thing. And with that, it's just proof that Nickelodeon is now having the Loud House as its second milking cow, basically. Like, SpongeBob is the first one, which is like really old and decrepit now. But at least it's a little more original. The Loud House is just the bland milking cow, if you know what I mean. I'm not trying to insult the show or anything, but Nickelodeon is milking the hell out of the Loud House now, and it's hard to watch. Because you talked to me 5 years ago, I loved the Loud House. I thought it was such a good show. I thought it was a return to form. And looking back at the older episodes, yeah, they're awesome. Talk to me about seasons 1 through 3, and they're awesome. Talk to me about episodes after that, and I just go, it's okay, but I don't really want to watch it. It makes me more sad than SpongeBob, because I really had faith in the Loud House. But Nickelodeon decided we need money, so let's milk this series. And it's proof that it's not really working. You know, Nickelodeon is just not getting the views it used to, period, because of streaming and stuff like that. But the Really Loud House, we don't need it. Just like Toy Story 5, like I said earlier in the video, we don't need our live-action Loud House series. In fact, I hate to say it, but I'm officially saying it here. I've officially gotten to the point where I think it's time for the Loud House to end. I really do. Its shelf life is gone now. It's just gone too downhill, and I really think do not do what you did with the Fairly Odd Parents. Dump this onto Nicktoons Network and disrespectfully kill the hell out of the Loud House. What I think you should do is get the crew together saying, we've been doing this for a while now. 7 years, in fact, but I think we should maybe bring things to a close. and have it be the end of an era. Make a legitimate finale where I don't know what you do, but I honestly am starting to think maybe they should have ended the franchise at the end of season 4, where Lori goes off to college and there's like new beginnings and stuff like that for all the characters. We find out what they're about, but make it like a finale in a sense. Maybe they should have ended the series after season 4. Honestly, I'm not too into the Loud House anymore. It's just been milked to hell. I'm being brutally honest, I know, but I don't really like the show anymore. There's just been too much milking done at Nickelodeon. Some of the fans are going to call me like a hater and stuff like that, but it's my opinion. I don't hate the show. I just think it's being disrespected by Nickelodeon. Like, it's a cash cow now. And they're milking it like crazy. Just like SpongeBob, and it's hard to watch. And last but not least, I'm sorry if this has been a little bit of a dramatic 20 questions video, but, you know, it's alright. I'm not trying to be. Number 20. How has 2023 been so far? Well, give you this. It's better than 2022. I don't know if it's drastically better than 2022, but it's better. That's for sure. I'm not going to go into too much personal detail, but there's been some stuff that's happened that hasn't been very good. And the other stuff is just, it's mainly Clover and my grandmother and stuff like that. It's been just, it wasn't going to go away overnight, but it's still here, and it's making me kind of unhappy, honestly. I can't help it. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just, it's making it harder to do videos and stuff like that. And even then, I sort of got kind of a negative energy, but a lot of shit has been happening, so I'm sorry to end this on a negative note, but it's really all I can say for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyways. I enjoyed making it. I'm going to try to make part 23 more positive and stuff like that, but look forward to some stuff tomorrow, like that tier list I think is going to come out tomorrow, and I think we're going to get another clip of the Willow and Luna movie. I don't think we're going to do trailers for the film. I think we're just going to get clips periodically and with like a name of the clip scene and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you guys like this. Gaming Do here. See you later. Bye.